This organization, which is called Sarva Sree here, S-A-R-V-A, Sree, Sarva Sree, this is not, here, let me just, is this better? Yeah. Was founded last year by a very dynamic Bangladeshi woman named Meghna Amin, who was and continues to be a student of perhaps the most famous South Indian vocalist alive today, named Balamuralikrishna, whose picture is in the program, and who was really a child prodigy, and he's now 80 years old, and he's been on stage ever since he was probably 5 or 6 years old, and has been well known for almost the last 75 years in South India and throughout the world of Indian music. And it's in his honor, basically, and to perpetuate the teachings and songs that he's written, which is a huge number by now, that Meghna founded this Sarva Sree Foundation. And this is our inaugural concert, and we're really happy to have these 4 musicians who've come in. And first let me thank the various organizations that helped contribute to this. And this is the Iowa Arts Council, Walmart, Procter & Gamble, Midwest One Bank, Share Wine Lounge, India Cafe, Exotic India, Masala, Fairway, and Zephyr. Let me also continue to thank a couple of more people here. I would like to thank Dr. Khan Manzoori Khoda, also who's from Canada, from Toronto, who's come for this event and who's contributed a lot to it. And his company called Shupriyoti Innovations, a media company outside of Toronto. Let me just say that we're going to look at a little video of Jon.B.Higgins, for whom this concert is a tribute. Jon.B.Higgins lived a short life. He died at the age of 45, I think in 1983. Suddenly, it was a tragic accident in Middletown, Connecticut. He was on the faculty at Wesleyan University, but he was easily the best known American who was involved in Indian music of his time. And it's in his honor that this inaugural concert is being presented.
Govinda Gokula Pala Karunananda Govardhana Giridhara Govinda Gokula Pala Karunananda Govardhana Giridhara Govinda Gokula Pala Karunananda Govardhana।
আমি যা কিছু মহান বরণ করেছি বিনম্র শ্রদ্ধায়, মেশে 13 নদী 7 সাগরের জল, গঙ্গায় পদ্মায়। We Bangladeshi, we can appreciate the good things of other parts of the world And not only we can appreciate, we can share our joy, our feelings, our sense of appreciation with others.
Let me now introduce the musicians, but let me say a couple of words about the music. I'm not going to take much of your time on this, but there's two major divisions in the tradition of music in India, divided between North India and South India. There are many different types of North Indian music and many different types of South Indian music. South Indian music is also called Carnatic music, and the tradition of Carnatic music as we have it today really dates back about maybe 300 to 400 years, with the presence of three very, very famous poets who composed hundreds of songs, or ragas as they're called, and Balamuralikrishna, in whose inspiration, as I mentioned, this organization, Sarva Sree Foundation, came up, is well within that tradition. And the musicians, even though this is all vocal music, as I said, their music is also, as a matter of different ragas or melodic scales. But let me just introduce the musicians now, and we'll proceed with the program, and perhaps they can introduce the different songs that they play. One of the things I should say is that there's almost never is there a fixed announced program of compositions before an Indian music performance is played, because they just decide when they're on stage what they're going to play. And then they'll either talk about it or they won't. But it's all left to the inspiration of the artists at the last second. So the artists who all live in the U.S. First, let me introduce Arun Ramamurthy, who plays the violin. And as we can see from our program here, that he was actually educated at, he's appeared at Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center, and very well-known violinist within the field of Indian music. Let me introduce Srinidhi Hemige, who will be playing the guitar. Let me introduce now Ravi Balasubramaniam, who will be playing a very remarkable percussion instrument called the ghatam. And the fourth person here that I'll introduce is Akshay Anantapadmanabham, who will be playing the mridangam. Master musicians for our inaugural concert of the Sarva Sree Foundation. Thank you.